The history of Chevrolet is filled with iconic models that have left a lasting impact on the automotive industry. From the classic Tri-5 Chevys of the 1950s to the revered Corvette Stingray, Chevy has consistently produced cars that have stood the test of time. However, amidst the legends, there exists a collection of forgotten Chevys that deserve recognition. Let's explore some of these forgotten models, their stories, and the unique characteristics that make them worthy of remembrance. The 1954 Chevy, a forgotten giant. The 1954 Chevrolet might seem like an unusual choice for a list of forgotten cars, especially given its commercial success. In 1954, Chevy sold 1,399,121 units, making it the #1 sales leader of the year. This model came at the tail end of the 1949-1954 design era, a period that brought Chevrolet significant success following the Korean War. The 1954 Chevy was dependable, stylish, and immensely popular with families all across America. However, despite these achievements, the 1954 Chevy often lives in the shadow of its more famous successors, the 1955, 1956, and 1957 models, known as the Tri-5 Chevys. These cars, with their groundbreaking V8 engines, iconic designs, and unmatched popularity, quickly eclipsed the 1954 model in both memory and admiration. While the Tri-5s became synonymous with mid-century American car culture, the 1954 Chevy faded into the background, often overlooked by casual car enthusiasts. Yet, the 1954 Chevy has a dedicated following among collectors, especially those interested in hot rods, lowriders, and period-correct gassers. Its design, though less aggressive than the Tri-5s, offers a clean and elegant look that still appeals to car lovers today. While it may not have the brute power of the Tri-5s, the 1954 Chevy helped lay the groundwork for the performance revolution that followed. It remains a cherished piece of Chevrolet history, a car that deserves more recognition than it receives. The 1958 Chevy, styling excess and a sales slump. If the 1954 Chevy was overshadowed by the Tri-5 models, then the 1958 Chevy suffered a similar fate, overshadowed by its successors and the flamboyant styling of the late 1950s. By the late 1950s, the jet age design philosophy dominated the automotive world, influencing everything from tail fins to chrome embellishments. The 1958 Chevy embraced this trend with gusto, incorporating an extravagant amount of chrome, curves, and over-the-top styling. It also introduced an all-new X-frame chassis, which gave the car a more robust foundation, but ultimately the design and engineering changes weren't enough to win over the public. While the 1958 Chevy was a bold attempt to push the boundaries of style, it was met with a 30% drop in sales compared to the 1957 model. Consumers seemed to prefer the more restrained designs of the earlier Tri-5s or the sleek look of the upcoming 1959 models. Despite its sales decline, the 1958 Chevy stands as an important car in Chevrolet's design evolution. It represented a moment when excess was both celebrated and critiqued, marking a transition in the automotive industry. Though it may not be remembered as one of the great Chevys, the 1958 model has its fans, particularly among collectors who appreciate the flamboyant design of the late 1950s. It serves as a reminder that even when automakers took bold risks, not every gamble pays off immediately, but that doesn't mean it diminishes the importance of the attempt. The 1960 to 1969 Chevy Corvair, the misunderstood compact. Few cars in Chevrolet's history are as controversial as the Chevy Corvair. Introduced in 1960, the Corvair was Chevy's response to the growing demand for compact, fuel-efficient cars. The Corvair was unique in that it featured a rear-mounted, air-cooled engine, a design more commonly seen in European cars like the Volkswagen Beetle. At the time, this was a bold move for an American automaker, and Chevy hoped it would help them capture a significant share of the compact car market. Early Corvairs were praised for their sleek design, good fuel economy, and relatively nimble handling. However, issues with stability and handling soon emerged, particularly in models that lacked a front anti-sway bar. These problems led to numerous accidents, and the Corvair became the poster child for unsafe cars when Ralph Nader published his book, Unsafe at Any Speed, in 1965. The book accused Chevy of prioritizing profits over safety, leading to a public relations disaster for the Corvair. Despite later models correcting the handling issue, the damage was done. By 1969, the Corvair was discontinued, and it has since been largely forgotten by mainstream car enthusiasts. However, the Corvair has developed a small but passionate following among collectors who appreciate its innovative design and European-inspired engineering. Though it was maligned in the day, the Corvair remains a fascinating chapter in Chevy's history. The 1973 to 1976 Chevy Savelle SS and Laguna S3, muscle cars stifled by regulations. The early 1970s were a difficult time for muscle cars, and Chevrolet Chevelle SS and Laguna S3 models were no exception. As the fuel crisis took hold and emissions regulations tightened, the days of big, powerful V8 engines were quickly coming to an end. The Colonnade A-body platform, introduced in 1973, had the potential to be one of Chevy's best-performing muscle car chassis, but it was hampered by the underpowered, smog-controlled engines that came with it. In addition to the weaker engines, the 5-mile-per-hour bumpers mandated by federal law further detracted from the car's aesthetics, making them look bulkier and less sleek than their predecessors. While the Chevelle SS and the Laguna S3 may not have had the raw power of earlier muscle cars, they still offered solid performance and handling for the time. These models remain a favorite among collectors who appreciate their untapped potential, and some enthusiasts have gone as far as swapping in more powerful engines to unlock the car's true capabilities. The 1975 Corvette, the low point of American performance. When it comes to disappointments in the world of American performance cars, few models are as infamous as the 1975 Corvette. By the mid-1970s, emissions regulations and rising fuel prices had brought an end to the muscle car era, and the once mighty Corvette had been reduced to a meager 165 horsepower. For a car that had once been synonymous with speed and power, this was a significant fall from grace. Despite its lackluster engine, the 1975 Corvette still featured one of the best chassis designs of its time, offering excellent handling and sleek styling. Many enthusiasts dismiss the 1975 model as a low point in Corvette history, but it's important to recognize the car's potential was hampered by external factors, not a lack of engineering prowess. With the right modifications, the C3 Corvette chassis is still capable of delivering an exciting driving experience, making it a popular choice for custom builds. These forgotten Chevys each represent a different chapter in the company's storied history, from the understated 1954 model to the controversial Corvair and the muscle cars stifled by regulations. While these models may not have achieved the same level of fame or admiration as some of Chevy's more iconic cars, they still played a significant role in shaping the brand's legacy. Each of these cars tells a story of innovation, risk-taking, and the challenges faced by American automakers as they navigated changing market demands and regulatory landscapes. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more awesome content. Your support means the world to us.